The Law Factor with advocate Clarence Arenas Gandawa.
Love is beautiful, love is powerful, but love without knowledge can lead to complications. Marriage is not just an emotional bond, it is a legal commitment with lasting consequences. Before saying I do, couples must ask, what kind of marriage will serve our future? What legal framework protects our interests? And most importantly, are we making an informed choice? Today, the Law Factor dives into the different types of marriage, their advantages, disadvantages, and the property regimes that govern them. Because when it comes to marriage, ignorance is not an option. The law moves forward. You must move with it. Over to you, advocate.
Thank you, Sola. Greetings to you all. Today we are talking about marriage. Understanding marriage types. Marriage, a union forged in love, tradition, law, and responsibility. It is not merely the coming together of two souls, but the intertwining of futures, legacies, and legal bonds that will shape generations. Yet marriage is not one size fits all. It is as diverse as the people who enter it, each type carrying distinct implications that define rights, duties, and consequences. Civil marriage, a contract signed, witnessed, and recognized by the state. This is marriage as the law envisions it. Clear, structured, offering full legal protections and obligations. The courts uphold it. The government regulates it. Every asset shared, every decision joined, every dissolution under judicial scrutiny. Religious marriage. Beyond the law, there is faith. Religious marriage binds not only in love, but in sacred doctrine, where inheritance, divorce, and even obligations are shaped by spiritual commandments. The vows are spoken in temples, mosques, churches, sealed not just by witnesses, but by divine authority. Yet, faith and law do not always move in harmony. When disputes arise, which takes precedence, the scriptures or the courts? Customary law, a marriage rooted in heritage, culture, and ancestral traditions. It is the bond passed down through generations, recognized by communities, but often scrutinized by modern legal frameworks. Here, obligations extend beyond the couple, to families, to customs, to unwritten laws that govern how marriage functions within a lineage. But in an evolving legal world, is tradition enough? Common law marriage. No grand ceremony, no legal certificate, just time. Years spent together, building a life, sharing a home. This is a union defined by presence, not paperwork. But when it ends, what remains? Does love unrecognized by law still hold legal weight? Can property, finances, and obligations still be claimed? Arranged marriage. Not all marriages begin with romance. Some are decided by families, by cultures, by expectations. Arranged marriages carry the weight of tradition, the promise of security, and the hope of lasting commitment. But where is choice in obligation? Where is freedom in expectation? And when love is not the foundation, can trust truly grow? Contractual marriage. Marriage, negotiated, structured, signed like a business deal. Here, love may exist, but agreements reign supreme. Prenuptial clauses, financial agreements, predefined expectations. Some see it as protection, others as practicality. But is love bound by a contract still love, or is it merely an arrangement of convenience? 6 parts, 6 choices, 6 legal frameworks shaping the most profound union of human experience. But the question remains, are you prepared for the consequences of the marriage you choose? Love is powerful, but law is permanent. The decisions made today will echo for a lifetime. To be ignorant of marriage law is to step into a commitment blindfolded. But to understand it, to grasp the rights, responsibilities, and risks, is to enter marriage empowered. Before you say I do, ask yourself, do I understand the path I am about to take? The law moves forward, you must move with it. The advantages and disadvantages of marriage. Marriage, more than love, more than passion, is a commitment sealed by law, bound by responsibility, and shaped by circumstances, both expected and unforeseen. For every promise whispered beneath vows, there are realities that must be faced. Every union carries its advantages, yet no marriage is without sacrifice. Before stepping forward, one must ask, what do I stand to gain and what will I leave behind? Legal security versus emotional flexibility. Marriage, in its most structured form, offers protection. Contracts that ensure financial security, the right to shared property, the power to make critical decisions together. The state recognizes the bond, upholding rights when disputes arise. Yet, this security comes at a price. The spontaneity of emotional flexibility is often traded for structured responsibility. In the eyes of the law, love is not enough. Compliance, duty, and permanence take precedence. Financial stability versus possible restrictions. For many, marriage is a financial alliance, a partnership designed to pool resources, secure assets, and build a future fortified against uncertainty. A union of incomes, a safeguard against instability, yet where wealth is shared, so too are burdens, debts, liabilities, the decision of one affecting the prosperity of both. Marriage grants stability, but it also demands financial accountability, for better or for worse. Inheritance rights versus cultural obligations. A marriage is not just for the present, it is for generations to come. Wills, estates, legacies, these are not just words, they are the realities of life's eventual end. Through legal marriage, inheritance is secured, ensuring that wealth is passed as intended. Yet tradition often complicates what should be clear. In some cultures, expectations of extended family outweigh legal documents. In others, unwritten customs challenge statutory law. What should be certain becomes disputed, and what should be protected sometimes falls prey to societal pressures. To enter marriage blindly is to ignore the truths that shape its foundation. What is gained? What is lost? What price is paid for security, stability, and legacy? Love is powerful, but knowledge is crucial. Before stepping forward, one must weigh the choice, see beyond emotion, and understand. Once the vows are spoken, the path is set, the law moves forward, you must move with it. Property regimes and financial considerations. Marriage is a union of hearts, but it is also a merging of futures, of wealth, of liabilities. It is a partnership where love meets financial reality, where passion intersects with responsibility. Too often, couples step into marriage blinded by emotion, never pausing to ask what happens to our assets, what happens to our debts, what happens if the unexpected arrives. Separation, hardship, loss. Marriage in community of property. Two become one, not just in love, but in wealth, in obligations, in risk. Every asset shared, every debt entwined. What is yours becomes ours. What was separate now moves as a single estate. The advantages: stability, security, a clear division of rights under the law. But the risks: when one stumbles, both fall. If one accumulates debt, the other carries the burden. If one mismanages resources, both pay the price. Financial independence is lost, replaced by full reliance on shared responsibility. Marriage out of community of property. Some choose separation, not of love, but of finances. Here, each spouse retains their own assets, their own debts, their own control. Freedom from liability. Independence in financial decisions. But within this framework, there are choices. Without accrual, what you bring into the marriage remains yours. What you earn remains yours. No sharing, no joint claims, no automatic entitlements upon dissolution. Independence reigns, but security is minimal. With accrual, a balanced middle ground. What was yours before remains yours, but what is built together is shared. Growth is recognized, contributions weighed. When the union ends, the wealth accumulated is divided, not by sentiment, but by fairness. Prenuptial agreements, prenups. And then there are those who plan ahead, who choose clarity before commitment. A prenuptial agreement is not a lack of trust, it is a safeguard, a declaration of mutual understanding. A prenup protects assets, defines financial rights, prevents disputes before they arise. It removes uncertainty, replaces assumption with certainty, but not all see it this way. Some believe love should never be bound by legal terms. Yet, is it wisdom or doubt to protect one's future? The truth remains, marriage is love, but it is also law. It is a legal contract, a financial alliance, a binding agreement between two people who must understand the path they choose. Too many enter marriage unprepared for its realities, unaware of its consequences. Too many stand in courtrooms, shocked, unprotected, regretting the choices they never made before the vows were spoken. This is the moment for clarity, the moment for foresight. Love is powerful, but knowledge secures the future. The law moves forward. Before you say I do, you must move with it. Marriage is more than love, more than commitment. It is a binding contract, a financial reality, a legal partnership. It determines not only the rights you hold today, but the responsibilities you will carry for a lifetime. And yet, too many step forward blindly, never pausing to ask the critical questions. Before you say I do, ask yourself, do I understand the legal framework that will govern my union? Have I considered the financial implications that could shape my future? Have I looked beyond emotion to see the reality of what marriage demands? Love may be the fire that sparks the journey, but wisdom must be the light that guides the path. Speak to legal experts. Know the law. Safeguard your rights before the vows are spoken. Marriage is not just an affair of the heart. It is an arrangement written in law, sealed by obligation, and once the choice is made, the consequences are set. You must take the time to make an informed decision, one rooted not just in love but in knowledge. Understand the legal framework that defines marriage. Discuss financial and property implications. Avoid surprises before they arise. Consider your values, your goals, and the foundation you are building. Seek counsel, because in law, ignorance is not an excuse. Too many enter marriage unprepared. Too many learn too late that love without understanding can lead to hardship, conflict, and loss. Love should be celebrated, but wisdom must guide the commitment. Marriage does not wait for hesitation. The law does not bend to uncertainty. The future moves forward. You must move with it. Legal knowledge is power. Marriage is responsibility. Choose wisely. See you next Thursday.
Springfield Law Clinic, justice defined, rights protected. We are here to serve.